So, dear students, today we will discuss Tobin's Q theory of investment. And as you know, theories of investment deals with the factors that determine the rate of investment in an economy. And there are different theories of investment, including the Keynesian theory, which we have discussed in the last class. That's a marginal efficiency of capital. Then we also have the neoclassical theory of investment, the accelerator theory of investment, and Tobin's Q theory of investment. So today we will discuss Tobin's Q theory of investment, and this is developed by the Nobel Prize winner James Tobin. Q theory of investment is forward-looking. So what do you mean by forward-looking theory of investment? Because here the firm takes into consideration the expected the discounted profits of a project during its lifetime. So it takes into consideration the future income that is generated out of investment. That's why it's called forward-looking. Firms choose the amount of investment to undertake with a view to maximizing the expected discounted profits over the lifetime of a project. So suppose the firm starts an investment or initiates an investment, and the firm is sure that it will be getting this much return. It's not sure, it expects that it will get this much return in the first period. In the second period this will be the return, in the third period this will be the return, and this particular investment will have an expected lifetime. Suppose the expected lifetime of the project is 10 years, then the firm will try to find out the present value of the expected returns of the lifetime of the project. Okay, that is this year's return plus the expected value of the return in the second year discounted or converted into the current year, and this happens over the lifetime of the project. The Q theory amounts to comparing the benefits from investment in an increase in capital stock with the costs of doing so. If the expected benefits exceed the costs, investment should take place. So the discounted expected profits over the lifetime of the project is what the benefit from investment. Okay, and then if you want to undertake investment, then there is a cost of doing so. So the firm compares what the expected benefits from the investment and what the cost of investment. And if the expected benefit exceeds the cost, investment should take place. So so Q ratio, we differentiate between marginal Q ratio and average Q ratio. Marginal Q ratio is denoted by small letter q, and here Q is equal to the marginal benefit of investment divided by the marginal cost of investment. So as I said earlier, the firm compares what the benefit of investment to the cost of investment, and this is denoted as PFX divided by dou plus R. So dou plus R is the marginal cost of investment. What is dou? Dou is the depreciation rate of this particular investment, and what R is what the rate of interest or the cost of investment. So dou plus R will give you what the depreciation cost and what the cost of this investment, that is the rate of interest that has to be paid for the capital stock. And PFX means if the price of the product, so investment is made in order to produce a commodity and to sell it in the market, earn profit. If the price of the product is high, then the marginal benefit out of investment will also be high. And FX denotes the productivity of capital. So when the productivity of capital is high, the marginal benefit of investment will also be high. So the marginal benefit of investment by marginal cost of investment is denoted by PFX divided by dou plus R, where PFX is the marginal benefit of investment, which is dependent upon the price of the product that is produced by this investment, and FFX is what the productivity of investment. Dou plus R is the cost of investment. So optimum amount of investment when it occurs when Q is equal to 1. Q equals 1 means the marginal benefit of investment equals the marginal cost of investment. Okay, this is where the expected benefits of investment are equal to the expected marginal cost. And if Q is greater than 1, the marginal benefit of investment exceeds the marginal cost. So the firms should invest to increase the capital stock until Q is equal to 1. That's a positive Q means the benefit of investment is greater than what? The cost of investment. So firms will be increasing the capital stock, and we know that with additional units of capital, the marginal benefit of investment will fall, and finally Q will be equal to 1. If Q is less than 1, what will the firms do? The firms should reduce their capital stock so that Q gets increased, and finally it's equal to 1. So it's important to note that the Q theory of investment is a model in which firms are assumed to make the investment decisions by pinning down the optimal capital stock. So firms are finding out the optimal capital stock in the Q theory of investment. Small changes in desired capital stock can therefore translate into large changes in the flow of investment. The marginal benefits from investment are higher when the price of output is higher and when investment is more productive. So that's given by the equation P and F of X. P is the price of output and F of X is the productivity of investment. So the equation shows that firms should undertake more investment if there is an increase in the price of output, an increase in the marginal productivity of capital Fx, which indicates the increase in output the new capital equipment will produce, a reduction in the rate of interest R, and a reduction in the rate of depreciation. The first two items P and F of X comes in the numerator of Q, that's a marginal benefit. Marginal benefit will increase when either of or both of these factors increase, and the third and the fourth comes in the denominator, that is rate of interest R and the rate of depreciation dou, and when both increase we know the cost is going to increase and hence Q will fall. For example, a rise in the expected rate of depreciation would lead to a reduction in the level of current investment as a result of uncertainty about banning fuel inefficient cars. So suppose there is an uncertainty or a rumor that the government is going to ban fuel inefficient cars. So it means that the firm expects the depreciation rate to increase. So when depreciation rate to increase, what happens? The denominator of this equation increases and Q will fall, because it would reduce the expected benefits to the firm from additional investment in the auto industry. So if there is uncertainty about banning fuel inefficient cars, the expected rate of depreciation is going to increase, and the expected benefits also from additional investment in the auto industry is going to reduce, so that both will act together so that the Q ratio falls. Marginal Q implies firms adjust their level of investment in each period to equate marginal benefits and marginal cost of investment. So every year or every period, what happens? The level of investment is adjusted so as to equate marginal benefits and marginal cost of investment. This does not fit with the real world data on investment. So theoretically this is correct, but when economists looked at very detailed microeconomic data for every large number of plants, they found that contrary to the idea of smooth investment flow, investment was in fact very bunched. Okay, so when economists started experimenting with empirical data for large number of plants, they understood that instead of having smooth investment flow, investment is happening in bunch. So there is some problem with related to marginal Q ratio. So we have another Tobin's Q ratio, which is called average Q model of investment. So to operationalize the theory, the market value of the firm as reflected in its stock market valuation is compared with the replacement cost of capital stock. See, so the marginal benefit divided by marginal cost. So here to operationalize the theory, that is to empirically estimate Q, the marginal benefit is found out as what? The marginal value of the firm as reflected in its stock market valuation. Okay. So the benefit is treated as reflected in what the stock market value, and the marginal cost is now considered by working out the replacement cost of capital stock. And then if the market value is higher, then this signals that the firm should increase investment. So average Q is equal to market value of the firm divided by replacement cost of capital. That is the stock market value of the firm divided by the replacement cost of capital. If the market value is higher, then this signals that the firm should increase investment. On the other hand, if the market value is below the replacement cost, then the firm would not want to build a new factory because it would buy an existing one more cheaply. So if the share value of the firm is below the replacement cost, then what happens? The firm will not go for investment because it's rather new investment because it could buy an existing one more cheaply. Therefore, average Q is defined as Q is equal to market value of the firm divided by replacement cost of capital. This is called average Q to distinguish it from marginal Q. Whereas small q is the ratio of marginal benefit of a unit of investment to its marginal cost, capital Q or average Q depends on the total expected return from the firm's capital divided by the total cost. So that's the difference. Small q or the marginal q is what happens when you make an additional unit of investment. What is the marginal benefit that is derived out of this investment to the marginal cost? Whereas in capital Q, what it means that depends upon what the total expected return from the firm's capital divided by the total cost. For publicly listed companies, the stock market provides a forward-looking measure of the market value of the firm, which can be used in the numerator of the Q equation. When the firm's market value rises relative to the replacement cost of the firm as reflected in a rise in the price of shares, the model suggests that the investment should go up. A higher interest rate and depreciation will rise the replacement cost of capital. Q is alternatively called the valuation ratio since it's the ratio of the market value of the firm to the replacement cost of its real assets. Okay, see, so it means capital Q means what? The market value of the firm divided by replacement cost. Market value of the firm is obtained empirically obtained by what? The share value of the firm. So if there is a rise in share prices relative to what? The replacement cost, then it means that the firm's value is increasing, and what happens? There is an increase in Q. Then what is replacement cost? Replacement cost is equated to the earlier equation, that is interest rate and depreciation. So a higher interest rate and depreciation will raise the replacement cost of capital. And Q is also called the valuation ratio. Why? Because it's a ratio of market value of a firm to the replacement cost of its real assets. A Q in excess of 1 means that financial wealth holders on the stock market are prepared to pay for a unit of real capital than it costs the firms to buy and install it. Okay, firms therefore have an incentive to invest, and so investment is expected to be higher the larger is Q. So this is Tobin's Q ratio or Q theory of investment. So in the Q theory of investment, you compare, there are two approaches. One is the marginal Q ratio, which compares what? The marginal benefit of investment to the marginal cost of investment. And marginal benefit of investment is a function of price of the product that the firm produces and what? The productivity of investment. When price and productivity are higher, productivity of investment is higher, the marginal Q ratio will be higher. And then the marginal cost is what? The depreciation cost plus what? The rate of interest. When Q is equal to 1, then there is optimal investment that is taking place in the economy. When Q is less than 1, firms will rather reduce their investment, and when Q is greater than 1, there will be increase in investment, so that finally Q equals 1. So it means that there is a continuous adjustment that is happening in order to make what? Q is equal to 1. But actually empirical data shows that such a smooth flow of investment is not happening in industries. What we see is some bunging of investment. So to understand what the empirical data that is provided. So an additional attempt at calculating Q ratio is obtained, which is called the average Q ratio, which is denoted by capital Q, and average Q ratio is equal to the value of the firm divided by what? The market value of the firm divided by replacement cost. Market value of the firm is obtained by what? The share value of the firm, and it is divided by the replacement cost. If share value of the firm is higher, it is good for the firm to invest. Okay, and finally when it becomes equal to 1, then investment is at its optimal place. So you can just read the textbook and just write an assignment on what Tobin's Q ratio. So thank you so much.